Doug Christensen has lived a life of service to the Book of Mormon and to the children of Lehi, and his wife Arlene has stood firmly by his side, making her own contribution to the work of gathering scattered Israel. Therefore, it is with great pleasure that Book of Mormon Central recognizes their lifetime achievements by presenting them with the Father Lehi and Mother Sariah Award for 2019.
To grow up as a free thinker and be a little bit rebellious in Payson, Utah, I'm a skeptic with a testimony. I have a firm testimony of the gospel. I'm sure I was a shock to my parents because to me I had to know. I had to know for myself. I first began to work in retail very young. I took to it. I loved it. I was working at the Emporium in San Francisco, a department store chain, when I met my sweetheart, Arlene, and ours was a love at first sight.
I met Doug through an interesting phone call when I called up to read him the riot act about something he'd done in business that I was very unhappy about. So the first time that I went to Mesoamerica would have been on a family trip. The people of Mesoamerica are wonderful. They're warm and kind. We felt very much like we wanted to help them in some way. The beginning of BMF, from my perspective, is that Doug just really dug in and was interested, and as the nucleus of the group began, he was right in the middle of it, and it was fun to watch as they began having firesides in Atlanta and San Francisco area and all over Utah, and it was just exciting to see people that love the Book of Mormon so much get together. The Book of Mormon, in my life, means more than I can really express in words. I love the gospel of Jesus Christ, and I love the way I can more easily understand the Book of Mormon. It's the basis of our lives. It is our lives.
I came back into full activity in the church because of the Book of Mormon. My siblings and Arlene and I and their spouses, Mom and Dad, took a trip. We chartered our own bus. I had no idea where Mesoamerica was. I had to look it up on the map. And all of a sudden, the Book of Mormon took on a life that I did not envision. Before that trip, the Book of Mormon was a series of nice stories. Being in the place where it actually took place, it opened up a whole vista for me, and I became excited about the Book of Mormon. And so I've started studying, and I've been studying ever since. Mesoamerica is a wonderful land, occupied by wonderful people who are very obviously have the blood of Israel in them. And as you see how they live, it's not dissimilar from the way they lived in Book of Mormon times, with just a small hut with a fireplace in the center and a hole in the roof for the smoke to go out. The people are just heartwarming. You want to just grab hold of them and love them. And when I was down there, I saw all these returned missionaries who were coming home from their missions. They had companions who came from homes of wealth. They had a school waiting for them when they got home. They had a car, on and on. These kids from Mesoamerica, they came home to nothing. And it just seemed like such a waste to me of beautiful human beings with testimonies. So because of that, I was instrumental in starting what we call the Alma Success Academy. And it was a school which we taught things that we felt were important for these young people. And then we had several classes in potential occupations. One of the students was a little lady. She came to us and she wanted to be a doctor so that she could service her people in the highlands. So she went to Cuba, got her medical degree, and became a doctor. She is well known in the medical community in Guatemala. She is a very active Latter-day Saint, a perfect example of an active Mayan, which she is. And that to me is the idea of Alma Success Academy. BMAF was founded as an organization which would produce on a website articles pertaining to the Book of Mormon. That website is still there, and it's literally filled with all kinds of apologetic articles, and they're still there, and they're still very timely. At BMAF, we felt it was important that we have a conference every year, and that we invite as many people as we could to it. And we had a large following, and that continued until we joined with Book of Mormon Central. Another thing that I've always enjoyed about the Book of Mormon is that it is really a handbook of survival for our day. Mormon had 1,000 years of history in front of him. He was instructed by the Lord to go through those and pick out the things that would be most important for us in our day, in our generation. Our Savior is standing with open arms, welcoming us back. That's the important part.
Congratulations to Doug and Arlene Christensen, the recipients of the Father Lehi and Mother Sariah Award for 2019.